Alright, welcome back, and today we're going to talk about how we can use Tax Property Viewer even in the field. And one thing I haven't mentioned so far, this works great with iPads, Androids, even your phone. And so I've actually got my iPad recording right now, and we're going to go through how we are able to use Tax Property Viewer in the field to really help us keep organized. Now, if you've done a lot of this due diligence before, you know keeping photos straight and notes straight, especially when you're out driving around in the field, or even worse, if you send somebody out doing this, it can be really a hassle. But what we're going to do here is use the Tax Property Viewer to store our photos or any other notes that we have about bidding, or we'll go ahead and just remove any properties that we don't like what we see when we arrive or when we see the photo. So we'll log in here, and again, I'm doing all this on the iPad right now. This is an iPad mini. It works great, even works better on a larger tablet, and even works on a phone. So we're going to start with the list here, but we're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to have our short list printed out like we showed you in the last video, and as we get to each property, we'll be able to look that up by parcel ID, just by typing that in here. But since those are kind of long in Cook County, what's really easier is a sale ID. So let's take a look at the short list that we have and show you how we can really use this to our advantage out in the field. So here's what our printed list will look like of our short list that we came up with in the last step. And as you can see, we've just got about 56 properties to check out here. And all we're going to do is have to use this sale ID. We can also use the PIN number if we wanted, but sale ID is much shorter and easier. And we'll be able to look up those properties one by one as we arrive at them. And the way the parcel numbering system works, as you can see, these are pretty well in driving order as it is by sale ID here. So we'll have the total value, the property class, and all that in hand. And the sale ID is how we are able to look up the properties one by one and add more information to them in the field. And the great thing about this is if you send somebody out to do that, as soon as they upload these, they'll be available to you at your office computer when you log into the app. So let's go back to the iPod view and see how we can look up individual properties and add a lot of good info to them and keep nice and organized. So here I am back on my iPad, and let's say I've pulled up at the property and I just want to add a photo and a few notes about what I'm willing to bid on the property, how low I'm willing to go on the interest, whatever the case may be. So all I've got to do here is enter the sale ID, and I think the first one on the list was 79387, and I view the list and it'll just be the one property that I'm in front of right now. So we see the property there. Now all we got to do is go down here, and as soon as we hit choose a file, we're going to see our camera will pop up, and we'll be able to take a photo, upload it, and in just a few seconds that photo that we just took will be part of this record, and we can review that later, even look at it during the auction if needed to review the property one more time. So in addition to 3 spots you can put a photograph, we also have 2 custom fields, we call them, where you can enter your notes. As you can see, I just typed in notes about property her. I guess I've got to fix that. And here even I'm going to rename one of the custom fields notes. And as you can see here in a minute, that's how it will show up now anytime we look at these properties in the future. So you'll be able to easily assess the property before the sale and maybe even take a look if the bidding gets fierce. Now here I am back on my computer shortly after snapping that photo, and as you can see, even though maybe my assistant is out there looking at dozens more properties, I can instantly begin to take a look at these even before they get back. So as you can see, if I look up the property right over here, I have the photo that was uploaded with the iPad instantly, the notes that were here, and there's room for 2 more photos as well if you want to get some different angles. And you're not limited to this small size. If you just click on it, you'll see that it's going to be a nice big clear picture right from the iPad. And then you can even take it to the sale if it's a in-person sale at a courthouse somewhere, and you can have all this stuff right here in case bidding gets a little tight. You can really have this information right at your fingertips, and you can just type in that sale ID, use your iPad, your phone, your Android tablet, and really make the most of the Tax Property Viewer.